I invite you to listen to the fascinating account of the 1984 Modigliani scandal, a perfect example of how the art world can be turned upside down by a simple prank. Thanks for tuning in to Slow English. I invite you to sit back and enjoy our latest episode. It's a great way to practice your English every day. The Great Hoax, Modigliani and the Heads of Livorno. Before we dive into one of the most embarrassing scandals in the history of art, we have to talk about the man at the center of the mystery, Amedeo Modigliani. Born in Livorno in 1884, Modi, as he was known, was the quintessential cursed artist. He was a painter and sculptor who lived a short bohemian life in Paris, characterized by poverty, illness, and excess. He is famous for his unique style, portraits with elongated necks, almond-shaped eyes, and a haunting, melancholic grace. But Modigliani was also a sculptor, and that is where our story begins. In 1984, the city of Livorno was preparing to celebrate the 100th anniversary of Modigliani's birth. At the time, an old urban legend was circulating. It was said that in 1909, a frustrated Modigliani, dissatisfied with his work and mocked by his friends, had thrown several of his sculptures into the Medicean canals of Livorno before leaving for Paris. The city decided to test the legend. They brought in massive dredgers and began digging through the mud of the canals. For days, they found nothing but scrap metal and old tires. But then, on a hot July morning, the miracle happened. 3 stone heads were pulled from the muck. The art world went into a frenzy. Top art critics and historians rushed to Livorno. They examined the elongated faces and the primitive carvings. The verdict? They are authentic masterpieces, the experts declared. One famous critic even said he could feel the vibration of Modigliani's soul in the stone. The heads were put on display in a museum, and thousands of people queued up to see the lost treasures. But the celebration didn't last long. A few weeks later, 3 local students, Pietro, Michel, and Pier Francesco, came forward with a shocking claim: "We made those." To prove it, they appeared on national television and used a common Black & Decker electric drill to carve a similar head in front of the cameras. They explained that they did it as a joke, a goliardata, simply to see if the experts would fall for it. The scandal got even worse. While the students admitted to carving the second head, a local dockworker and artist named Angelo Fruglia claimed he had carved the other 2. He wasn't looking for a joke. He wanted to show how easily the expert art world could be manipulated by the desire for a sensational discovery. The Modigliani heads were instantly transformed from priceless masterpieces into worthless stones. The critics, who had staked their reputations on the authenticity of the sculptures, were humiliated. Today, the Beffe di Livorno, the Livorno hoaxes, is taught as a cautionary tale. It reminds us how the myth of a cursed artist can sometimes blind even the most educated experts to the truth right in front of them. The heads themselves occasionally reappear in exhibitions, not as art, but as relics of one of the greatest pranks in history. I invite you to listen to our next episode. Make sure to subscribe to the channel so you never miss an update.